What's up, everybody? It's been a while since we've done a review, but we gotta do the final Raw of the year, so we might as well start off right here. Brooklyn, New York, folks, live in the BK. I guess final Raw of the year, as Vince McMahon came out to call out Roman Reigns and have, pretty much he couldn't find the heart to congratulate him and stuff, so he called him out, and he said that he told Reigns that Triple H is going to be coming for him. He's going to take revenge on him after what you did to him. And you can break my jaw as the crowd chanting, "We can't hear you." And pretty much he talked to Vince, says, "You better speak up, old man." And he says, "Oh yes, I forgot we're in Brooklyn," he says. He says, "You turned your back on Stephanie. I've had dental surgery," but he says, "I own the world title," he says. And Vince pretty much went on to call him, saying that you don't realize who you work for. As Reigns says, "That's the problem with rich snobs like him." He says, I'm not a rich snob, I'm a freaking billionaire. What are you talking about?" Which was funny. There's a big difference. And Reigns says that I have the title belt. This is our title belt, he says. And Vince talked about him as the fans were smart enough to chant Daniel Bryan and a very great loud CM Punk chant that looked like it pissed off Vince McMahon. So that was pretty good as they chanted CM Punk. As they brought the Wild Samoans to Open Seekus, and he made his father wrestle for peanuts when I never paid him any money. As pretty much Reigns barely touched him in, and he fell to the ground, and Vince says, my neck, somebody help me." It looked really fake. And Stephanie McMahon came out with police telling them to arrest Roman Reigns, but the police would not do it. Then he is not arrested, and they said, "She doesn't step back, you'll be going to jail." And then Vince got up, told him to calm down, and said, "You better stop talking to my daughter like that." He put his hands on the cop then. The cops then pretty much took him. He says, "You can't blame my geriatric 70-year-old father," he says. And pretty much the cops took him in handcuffs, and he was arrested, and he was going to jail. Which I guess that was a good segment, but they think this is 1998 and think it's going to be Vince versus McMahon, but it's not. It's going to be Austin versus McMahon, but it's not happening like that. It's not 1998 anymore, folks. Pretty much then they put him in a squad car as Kevin Owens then went against Neville. Neville beat him in under seconds as Kevin Owens pretty much got pissed and beat him up, saying he deserved to slam me and everything. He beat up Neville after that, and as the referees carried Neville off, Kevin Owens came back out there and started beating on Neville again. He was going to do a pop-up powerbomb on the apron, so he was going to break his neck or something like that, but Dean Ambrose came out there for the save then. They talked about the Today Show with Cena, as they talked about The Rock will be entering WrestleMania 32. He will be there, and he says he's going to be getting in the ring, even though we've seen him. Honestly, The Rock has never missed a WrestleMania ever since he came back at WrestleMania 27, so The Rock he hasn't really gone anywhere. He's still here, folks. Like, The Rock's gone nowhere. So The Rock is still here. Becky Lynch talked about Charlotte. Well, I guess Charlotte and Team Bad. She's gonna go one-on-one with Sasha Banks. That Sasha Banks, the Team Bad came out saying that the boss is back in Brooklyn, and pretty much she said the Patriots were better than her. They didn't talk about her hometown as she went against Becky Lynch. This wasn't as good as the NXT TakeOver match when she was in Brooklyn against Bayley, which was awesome. Or this wasn't even an NXT style match that the crowd started to chant boring, boring. As Team Bad kept getting involved, Sasha Banks eventually won with the bank statement, and it just wasn't that good of a match, really. It just wasn't that good. I feel like it went on very long, for over 15 minutes, and it just wasn't really a lot to add on during that time. So it's pretty much what you can put in right there for that type of match. This wasn't really good, but I'm moving on. I almost got a little sidetracked right there after paying attention to something else. But I don't know. They just need to do more with the women. And then again, you have to remember, half of the roster was not there tonight. During this Monday Night Raw, there was a live event happening in Pennsylvania, I believe. So half the roster was not there tonight. They talked about Vince McMahon's mugshot, which he looks like Two-Face. If you put something different there, he'll look like Two-Face. The New Day came out as they were super over chanting New Day rocks. They said you cry when you hear a song, but it said you get no song. And that you didn't vote us to be Tag Team of the Year, so no song. Kalisto then went against Kofi Kingston. The Dragons came out with Kalisto's Slammy Award, by the way. Kalisto beat him, but then Xavier Woods got pissed off and vented on Sin Cara. You want to help your friend, huh? You're going to learn that payback is a Big E when you go one-on-one with him. As Big E went against Sin Cara throughout the match, it just turned out bad because pretty much Big E pulled Sin Cara off the ropes, off the apron, and he fell hard on his shoulder, which is now dislocated, by the way. So Sin Cara was hurt badly. They had to have paramedics check on him. They finished the match. Big E still won, so it turned out really bad for Sin Cara right there, especially dislocating his shoulder. I don't know what that means for the Dragons now. The Miz is supposed to be reviewing the entire year of 2015, which just has not really been a good year in WWE to begin with. But he came out, talked about Miz TV, but Ryback interrupted him, and he says, nobody cares about the past, we're talking about the future, he says. But, you know, people can go to archives somewhere in WWE.com. Ryback's is going to be the year the big guy. Goldust then came out and said that, you know, Miz could win a SAG or Oscar award or something. Zack Ryder, which surprisingly we haven't seen in I don't know how long on Raw. He's on NXT doing a little hype bros thing, but I'm not paying attention to that much. The fans chanted, woo, it's going to be the year to Ryder 2016. Yeah, I keep thinking that. Truth came out, which said he won his Slammy for Superstar. He said, you won your Slammy last week. I get really tired of this whole making Truth act like he doesn't remember anything and interrupt people. This doesn't make sense. Since Heath Slater then came out and said, like, I'm the one-man band, everybody needs to pay attention. Big Show came out then. He punched out Heath Slater and beat up everybody in the ring. Truth tried to knock himself out, but Big Show sort of chokeslammed him. He knocked right back out the ring. And he told him that's just a demonstration as fans chanted, please retire, that he's going to win the Royal Rumble and be the first man the first man in there, as he's going to win the WWE title. He's going to win the Rumble, win the WWE Championship, and take that time, shove it up everyone's. And he says, you're not going to get me in trouble. And like somebody wrote and said, it was kind of funny. No more than a badass, rebellious heel for a guy saying that the fans are going to get him in trouble for swearing. But then Big Show, here's the thing, they make Big Show look strong right there, but then he goes against Ryback, and then Ryback wins by countout. So the guy that just knocked out a whole bunch of mid-card jobbers to put him over now lost to a countout. That makes no sense. So is Big Show heel? Is he face? What turn is he going to be this time, folks? Is he really going to be the number one man in the Rumble? I don't care if he's in the Rumble, and as long as it doesn't go down like last year, but last time's Rumble, but does he need to be number one in the Royal Rumble? It makes no sense. This show, why? It just doesn't make any sense. They talk about Fabulous Rapper. He made his son's room into a wrestling ring and stuff. Dean Ambrose and the Usos went against the League of Nations, which Barrett did not wrestle. All he's really got to do is stand in the apron since that injury is still hurting him, so he can't really do anything. I don't know why everybody's carrying out the Slammies now, but pretty much then Ambrose and the Usos went against the League of Nations then. The League of Nations won as pretty much Sheamus hit the Brogue Kick, and then after that Kevin Owens attacked Dean Ambrose and hit a power bomb on him through the table then. So, they're still pushing that with the Intercontinental title. Pretty much the Renee Young was out there still waiting for Vince and them to come out as they bailed him out then, so he was bailed out of jail. John Cena came out then as the crowd chanted, John Cena sucks, and people wonder where John Cena was, and where's John Cena been? But he's back on Monday Night Raw, and yes, it won't be an open challenge for the U.S. title, because Del Rio has it, but he talked about, everybody, some kids like me, but those that don't like me. He pointed to the guy in his shirt that said anti-Cena and everything. And he says the fans deserve a championship effort match. And then Del Rio and the League of Nations came out. As Cena told them that you know, you're gonna lose and everything. Why don't you put that belt on the line? He says, but he didn't want to do it. He says, you're afraid I'm gonna beat you. He says, why don't you do it, or you just prove to everybody you're just a little punk bitch, he says. But Del Rio pretty much went on got him Juan Cena or something, that, you know, I am a fighter and everything, and he called him a stupid American idiot. And he said, I know what's gonna happen. You get your League of Nations buddies to come out here and attack me and interfere, because you're just a one-hit wonder. He says, ever since you came back, you gained a title, but you lost your manhood. As Del Rio came down, Cena threw his t-shirt in the crowd. The fans threw it back. He says, even these Brooklyn fans are tougher than you. Said, this is the home of the notorious B.I.G. This is Jay-Z's house. This is the Barclays Center. He says, you want a match, and you got to do this tonight, he says. And Del Rio pretty much went on and says, all right, we will do a title shot. They also acknowledged the death of Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead, who died at I didn't know he died that Monday. I was very shocked to hear that. I didn't really hear about it. Like, I didn't know Motorhead really was that much. I know pretty much I only know him for making Triple H's song and, Evolution and Time to Play the Game and performing there. So I was very shocked to hear that he died, but they acknowledged his death, and they showed him photos, tweets, showing their condolences, and pictures of Triple H at the time when he performed Motorhead. So I was very shocked to hear him die. He died. Del Rio then went against Cena for the United States Championship, which I really thought Cena was going to win just because to get the belt back. But the League of Nations pretty much interfered throughout most of the match. Then when he hit the STFU, they interfered again. They pretty much attacked John Cena, kicked him out of the ring. The Usos tried to come and help, but the Usos pretty much got beat up. Then Roman Reigns came out, and then Superman punched him out of the ring, and had to stare down with Sheamus as he took the chair from Sheamus and beat him with it. As Vince McMahon came out, he said, I'm going to sue the city of New York. But next week on Raw, the WWE title will be on the line. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus again, who really wants to see that. And the special guest referee will be Vince McMahon. And then he ended the show saying, Happy New Year, like about 10 times. So the title will be on the line next week. Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. Who wants to see that? And I was going to wait to do a separate video on this, kind of getting my thoughts on this year in wrestling, which hasn't really been a good year to begin with, of all wrestling wise. The only bright spot you're looking at wrestling nowadays is NXT and Lucha Underground. So that's good. WWE has just proved themselves to be big idiots. There's so many things I can name that have been this bad throughout the year. Where do you begin? Like, I guess I know you can begin on one part. Disappointments. Seth Rollins getting injured, losing. Well, a lot of people getting injured. Everybody named Mama getting injured, to be honest. Seth Rollins injured. Hideo Itami injured. Cesaro injured. Sami Zayn injured. Randy Orton injured. John Cena, well, he just left anyways just because and didn't really care. Survivor Series was a horrible pay-per-view. Very horrible pay-per-view. The only good thing about it was The Undertaker. Daniel Bryan getting injured. That's another injury. Having to give up another title belt. 2 years in a row, folks. Because of his neck. Roman Reigns almost getting booked like Daniel Bryan with him versus the Authority thing. My God, I think he's the man, pushing him like he's Austin. Dean Ambrose being squandered, I would say. Being reduced to Roman Reigns' lackey and sidekick. Damian Sandow going nowhere after this whole Miz thing, except being in the Macho Man. Jay Lethal could do a better job than that, becoming the meta power with Curtis Axel. He went nowhere. The Ascension getting buried after they came from NXT. The Wyatts, guys who pick fights but always get pretty much their ass kicked in the end. Bray Wyatt pretty much argues with somebody with a feud and will lose in the end. Sheamus, ever since he even returned, like, why was he even champion in to begin with? Another one, they took away Seth Rollins' curb stomp. They killed Sting. I don't care what anybody says. They murdered Sting's career. Ever since WrestleMania, having him lose to Triple H, being hit with a sledgehammer, and then going around saying that, they had a good match, and then the NWO come out there to help him. Makes no sense. And then he shakes his hand after he gets hit in the face with a sledgehammer. And like, I guess other things, like he cut that promo on Raw, and it was an ass-kissing promo to Triple H. So will Triple H just you're half the man Triple H ever be. He hit you in the face with a sledgehammer. They've injured him so bad now, which he'll probably never wrestle again after he went against Seth Rollins. But WrestleMania, they murdered Sting. They killed Sting. It's funny, I was watching a match the other day from it was like 2 years ago. It was Sting versus Austin Aries on TNA. And my God, they had a better match than he did with Triple H. And they just, I don't know what they've done to Sting. They just hurt him. He's just injured now. I don't know what they've done to him, but they've killed Sting. I've always said it was going to turn bad if you went to WWE, and boy was I right. They couldn't let this whole WCW versus WWE thing go. They had to get Sting, and they did. And I know they paid Sting a lot of money. I know he's getting a lot of money. But was it worth killing his career and legacy almost? They just had to do this WCW versus WWE thing again. Why? I don't know. It makes no sense to why they did that. Seth Rollins, they took away his curb stomp, which still makes no sense to me to this day, given the pedigree. Bringing up Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, and they went nowhere. And just making them look like the other WWE divas. Nikki Bella, in that political way, how she's held that title, and just taking shots at CM Punk and AJ just because they wanted to get payback on them, having her had that. Her title reign means nothing. They just wanted to do that just to take shots at Punk and them. We know why she has this belt and why she's giving this push. One, because of Total Divas. Another one is because of John Cena, because she's with John Cena. She's never that great wrestler. They try to put her on this pedestal where she's like good as Trish and Lita and others, but she's not that great. I don't care what anybody says, like Nikki Bella is not really anything. Her title reign means nothing. They just wanted to take shots at AJ and them, so that's their thing. But we know the truth. We all know the truth, and they can't hide it. So we know WWE's going with that. It just makes no sense. Why Nikki Bella means nothing. Booking Sheamus is another thing. Again, becoming a relevant Mick Carter with Money in the Bank briefcase to becoming champion. The Royal Rumble, which once again they failed again, which will probably be 3 times in a year they're going to fail with this because they don't know what they're doing at this point with the Royal Rumble. The booking, I've already said the booking of Roman Reigns. Wow, if any more thing I can being bad, these factions they have a lot of factions all over the place with tag teams. Some people say it's because of that. From Team Bad, Team Bella, Team PCB, which I already said that's bad. Roman, Dean, and the Usos, that little Shield squad right there. The Primetime Players, the League of Nations, the New Day's been a bright spot. I can't really say that much about the New Day. The way they booked Sasha Banks, Undertaker, I'm not sure why he still can't beat Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is booking. Rollins, it's just been up and down for Rollins. Seth Rollins promo. Every Raw has been a horrible thing. Every Monday Night Raw. Seth promo with the Authority. A Seth match. Filler content. Cena promo. Cena match. Pointless feud segment. Neville Cesaro match, main event to promote a pay-per-view. That's how Monday Night Raw goes nowadays, folks. But some people think Brock and Taker, well, that wasn't that bad. Continuing the Cena, no, they didn't really continue that feud also, but Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, I've already getting that thing. Paige getting almost over 1 million title shots, people say. I've already said everybody's injury. Eva Marie on NXT isn't a horrible thing. Neville, how he's been booked has been horrible also. Where has Neville really gone anywhere? King of the Ring has been horrible. Barrett winning the King of the Ring and still becoming still a jobber in the end. Still a jobber. I don't know. It's just a lot of bad things. WWE is just bad year in general. Another bad year. I thought last year was bad, but we can just count up another year for them being bad again. Even death wise, we've lost people from Dusty Rhodes and Rowdy Piper, which that was a tragic loss. Unfortunately, we lost them. It's just so many things that have been bad in WWE throughout the whole year. It's just another bad year for them. Wrestling took a bad fall also. And I can go from other companies, from TNA losing a lot of guys because of ridiculous reasons. Hopefully Pop TV is good for them when they come back on January the 5th. I don't want TNA to fail like everybody else wants them to fail. So it's a new company, get company, yada, yada, yada. I don't want them to fail, okay? I never wanted them. I just want them to get better. And they really need that. Ring of Honor, some people think Ring of Honor is done because NXT is now taking their shine away from them and taking their guys, but hey, they still got Jay Lethal on there, folks, so Ring of Honor is going something, but they didn't get him reversed. A lot of contracts that are free now after that Final Battle pay-per-view, so there's a lot to say about that. And Lucha Underground NXT just really been the only bright spots that's going, and make sure you watch out for Lucha Underground when they come back in January also. That's going to be great when we see them back on TV again. I'll make sure I check out that show. But Monday Night Raw, WWE is just horrible. I don't know what this means now. Okay, SmackDown's going to USA in January. Will it make a difference? There's too many people hurt. Daniel Bryan's career may be really over now since they only want to offer him is a training spot. Yeah, all these other doctors will clear him, but the WWE won't clear him. And he may leave and wrestle somewhere else. Can you blame the guy? Can you really blame him? I don't know, but it's just too many bad things on that main roster. Injuries, nobody's there. Well, John Cena came back now, but there's just too many bad things on that show, folks. It's not going anywhere. And people wonder why. I just flip in and out of the show. I really just flip in and out of channels. And it's just too much of retardedness on wrestling, especially with WWE. But I just want to get a quick recap of the year in a way, just how bad it's been for the WWE in general. Like, God, I still can't believe they let Nikki Bella hold that belt that long. And I knew when she was gonna lose it. They just wanted to beat AJ so they could just take shots at CM Punk in them. That's all they wanted to do. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And just tell me what you think about this year in wrestling, folks. Is it another bad year? Is it? Especially for WWE wise. Tell me what you think. Comment, subscribe. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.